Hello everyone, this is the third history tutorial video for class 7. The chapter is a new chapter, New Kings and Kingdoms. This is the second chapter of the syllabus. We are going to start the chapter in this video. Let's begin. In India, during and after the 7th century, many new dynasties emerged. This map shows the major ruling dynasties in different parts of the subcontinent between the 7th and 12th centuries. By the end of the 7th century, there were big landlords or warrior chiefs in different regions of the subcontinent. Existing kings often acknowledged them as their subordinates or samantas. They were expected to bring gifts for the kings or the overlords, be present at their courts, and provide them with military support. As samantas gained power and wealth, they often asserted their independence from their superiors. In the mid 18th century, for example, Danti Durga, a Rashtrakuta chief, overthrew his Chalukya overlord and performed a ritual called Hiranyagarbha, literally meaning the golden womb, Hiranyagarbha. When this ritual was performed with the help of Brahmins, it was thought to lead to the rebirth of the doer of this sacrifice as a Kshatriya. Means whoever does this ritual, he will be reborn as a Kshatriya. Even if he was not a Kshatriya by birth, he will become a Kshatriya by doing this ritual. In other cases, men from enterprising families used their military skills to carve out kingdoms. For example, the Kadamba king Mayura Sharman and the Gujara Pratihara king Harichandra were Brahmins who gave up their traditional way of life to carve out large kingdoms for themselves. Now, many of these new kings took very large and high sounding titles like Maharaj Dhiraj, Tribhuvan Chakravartin, and so on and so forth. However, in spite of such claims, they often shared powers with their samantas as well as with association of peasants, traders, and Brahmins. In each of these states, resources were obtained from the producers, that is, the farmers, the cattle keepers, artisans, who were persuaded or forced to surrender a part of what they produced. Revenue was also collected from the traders. These resources were used to finance the king's establishment as well as for the construction of temples and castles and forts. They were also used to fight wars, which were in turn expected to lead to acquisition of wealth in the form of plunder and access to land as well as new trade routes which were important in trade. The functionaries for collecting revenue, the people who were appointed for collecting revenue, were generally recruited from influential families, aristocratic families, and the positions were often hereditary. The positions were not based on merit but based by birth. This was true about the army as well. In many cases, some close relatives of the king held these positions as revenue collectors or the army commander. These positions were sometimes held by the king's cousins or brothers or any member of the royal family. Prashastis contain details that may not be true always, but they tell us how the rulers wanted to portray themselves as valiant, victorious warriors who never feared anything, like that. These were composed by learned Brahmins who occasionally helped in the administration. Unusual for the 12th century was a long Sanskrit poem containing the history of kings who ruled over Kashmir. It was composed by an author named Kalhan. Kalhan used a variety of sources including inscriptions, documents, eyewitnesses, and early histories to write his book or to write his poem. Unlike the writers of Prashastis, he was often critical about the rulers and their policies. So Kalhan can be credited with writing the first history book of Kashmir, which contained the history of Kashmir, the kings, about the kings, the history. We are stopping here. We will continue this chapter in the next tutorial video. Till then, bye.